Hey, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of the San Diego Prep Insider Basketball Podcast. We're done with football. We're done with fall sports. We're in a gym. We're on location. Christian Pedersen, Tommy Morris, and Aaron Bergen. It's hyphenated. Full-time hoops. Real Tommy Morris, Mr. Seephead. We're here.
Full-time hoops.
One. Full-time dad, one. Full-time hoops, one. You're number one in all our books, man.
Yeah. In all the books that exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're here at Hilltop. It's the Hilltop tournament. It's tournament season. They're going on all over the county.
All the time. Yeah.
It's Festivus for the rest of us. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
It's nice.
Copyright that one.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So we got 4 games happening here, or 3 games happening here today. We will have highlights from all those, but we also got analysis coming from all over the county.
Yeah.
Too early to get into necessarily the nitty-gritty of the top 10 because our preseason top 10 already looks different than our week 1 top 10 and will look different than our week 2 top 10.
Yeah. Different than our preseason top 10.
Oh my goodness.
So balls are bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
Not just LiAngelo.
Exactly. So this podcast will not be structured quite the same as all our other ones. Yeah. Let's just say this. Vista, very good out the gate. Very interesting to see if they can, we'll say wire to wire this one because they're in that 1 seed right now, and that'll just be the interesting team to see.
I mean, they took L last night to Mater Dei Catholic. Obviously, they have some injury concerns early, but if they can right those, they should be solid down the stretch. But you can't discount all the other teams that we got up there. Foothills, Mission Bay, Torrey, San Marcos. A lot of parity at the top this year.
Absolutely, and that's just always interesting, though, to see if one team can hold on to it, a la Mission Hills in football, until that very end and then lose it. So just interesting to see.
I think that we haven't had a wire-to-wire in a long time. I mean, Foothills got close. They wrested control in 15-16 early and then didn't let go of it, but they weren't the number one out the gate. I think Saints were that year. But, it's going to be interesting to see who's got the juice and who can hold on to it.
Well, speaking of who's got the juice right now, let's give out some game balls. Aaron, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I'm going to give my game balls to Noah Tumblin, Mira Mesa guard, 38 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds, and a season opener loss, but a great performance. Lefty can shoot it. He's a great football player, but I was really impressed with what he did on the floor. His compatriot in that game, Anthony Mendoza of Bonita Vista, 29 points, 12 rebounds, and they got the 77-70 victory. I was really impressed with the way Anthony Mendoza composed himself, knocked down key free throws down the stretch. You got to give him a lot of credit. Then my final game ball is going to go to DeAndre Andrews of Kearney. This obviously is an interesting year for me again because I'm half dad, half analyst, but DeAndre Andrews hit 9 3-pointers in the Kearney's opening loss to San Diego. I was there obviously watching as a civilian, but that was an impressive performance. So DeAndre Andrews from Kearney, you get my 3rd game ball.
Very nice. I will start with a general performance game ball and a shout out to Cam Barry. Even in some losses, yeah, just like he ate a spicy pepper or something.
You don't want to touch him. He's on fire right now, ladies and gentlemen. Don't touch him.
And that's a not out of left field, but an eventual build up to now we're seeing what full strength Cam Barry can look like.
Baseball reference for Cam Barry.
Yes, he's just an all around quality player. But time to see if he can translate these performances into wins. Okay. I know that you can take a couple losses in a basketball season without it really even coming close to being life or death situations for your season, but it's time to see if a perennially pretty good West Hills team, now that they have an all-star shooter, can become a really good West Hills team and start to turn the corner on some of those wins. I'll give out a game ball to Otay Ranch. Right here in this very gym, they started off the season taking down Canyon Crest, and not in a ticky-tacky, that one foul or that one possession.
No.
They beat them.
Yeah.
We have to talk to Canyon Crest potentially later today, so I'm not going to go too off all, but it was... You turn the camera off and stop filming in the middle of the 3rd quarter because it was over. Yeah. A game ball to Bryce Pope. the pontiff himself has anointed the Olive Garden with much holy water and gone forth to crusade on all of the North County. Yeah, hey, well, you know what? I'm trying to follow off of the Herm Edwards.
Okay.
I'm a Catholic now, man. You don't want to be talking about the devil around me.
Wait, so you know the name of our show at least?
Yeah, I
know the name of the mascot.
The name of the mascot.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Our references are getting really mixed right now. Football, basketball, baseball. All I know is that Eastlake is now here. Hilltop is here. Everyone wants to talk, so I'll stop talking. Game ball out to just kind of everybody early in the season that is dealing with football players not being there and teams not being at full strength, but still showing up and balling out. Yeah. Tommy?
I'm going to go first game ball to Saints for cracking into the new gym.
Christening the crib?
Christening, yes, exactly. Good job for Saints. And the second one, I'm going to go with Mater Dei, more specifically Anderson, who's averaging 17 points a game through their first three. They're 3-0 off the hot start. Yep. Kind of a young team, so it's good to see them.
A lot of freshmen on the group, but he's a senior, so
right.
They've got some leadership there as well.
Yeah, they got three guys averaging over 15 points so far in the first 3 games. So pretty good start.
That's nothing to laugh at. You know, it is something to laugh at. When we pick against teams that go on to win and go on to win big, and we continue to pick against them because part of this podcast is our weekly game preview / selection segment. Guys, this week we got some good ones.
Okay.
We're not starting off small.
No.
Our first game, Carlsbad at Westview.
Oh, wow.
Now,
I like this one.
This one's kind of interesting.
This one's interesting. Both teams needing some wins.
Westview perennially, to me, has been the bite a team in the ankles and ruin their season because they come out with one really good game. Question is, can they sustain that? That's always the question, is can they sustain that level of play? We know they're good. On the other side, Carlsbad, last year kind of surprised some people out the gate. It faded away toward the home stretch, but Troy Bloomquist and company still know how to score the ball. So, Aaron, do you want to go out on a limb and be our first pick of the season, or should I get? No, you got the first game ball. So Tommy, I'll go over to you for the first pick this season.
Carlsbad. I got Carlsbad in this one.
Very simple. I will agree. I'll go with Carlsbad.
Is the game at Carlsbad?
This is at Westview.
I'm picking Westview on that one.
So this is a coin toss game to whoever's.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the home crowd's going to be the big difference. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. They've both kind of had some really close games. Carlsbad's had a couple of games that have gotten away from them in the third and fourth quarters. I like Westview because they defend. They really get after it on the defensive end. When you have a senior like Kobe Gotti and you've got a junior class like they have with Rico Hopping, Adam Chang, and a home crowd that may or may not be roaring and ready to go in early December at a basketball game in a tournament, you never really know. But I'm going to say that they are, and I'm going to give them the narrow win. I think they win by 4.
Very nice. No extra points or awards are given out if you call the correct score of a game. No. It's just fun to feel like that. Our next game, Morse at Montgomery. Now I want to give a quick shout out. Montgomery right out the gate won by 40 plus. They put up into the 80 spectrum. Huge game. So I'm going to go with Kyle Perinotta, Timmy Crawford and company. But the question, as always with Morse, is can they translate athleticism into wins?
And in this one, I'm going to say that they can't. I'm picking Montgomery. I think Montgomery wins this one. One of the things about Morris early in the year, I had them ranked 13 in my top 35. A lot of guys missing, whether it be academics, sit-out transfers. They're not at full strength. And teams are taking advantage of that. They've been, beat by 20-plus in all 3 of their games. So I'm going to say that Montgomery kind of adds to their temporary pain, but just watch out for the Tigers later in the year. They will bounce back from all this.
Everything I need to know about losing before the transfers or after the transfers was Helix last year. They lost a couple blowouts, and then Miles Norris, someone like that, and they didn't lose again. Yeah. Not even the state championships. So, Tommy, how do you see this?
I was going to say similar thing with Mission Hills last year as well. More Washington comes in, completely different team. Morris, wait a couple months. I'm going to go with Montgomery. In a couple months, totally different game. But right now, Montgomery.
Our next game, because I like to mess with this guy, we will go Lincoln, Jeff Harper Harrison Company taking on San Diego.
Oh, man.
Them Cavers, boy.
Oh, man.
Them Cavers. So as we said, full disclosure, he is full-time Hoops 1, he's full-time Dad 1, and he's full-time Caver Bias 1. You can just provide analysis on this. We'll do the picking.
We're going to do a full-time abstention on this one. So a little bit of analysis. This is, Jeff Harper has a relatively new-look team. They're centered around Raekwon Everett, a 6'4" senior wing who missed last year with a torn ACL. He's back, averaging about 22 a game in his last 3 games. Torrance Farr, also a really good senior. They're tough. They defend. They're young. They've got 3 sophomores and 2 freshmen who play significant roles. Almost the same as San Diego. San Diego benefits from having all their football guys back now after the loss in the championship. Thomas Marcus, one of the best grid hoopers in the section, he's back, along with Daniel Thomas, a junior who also really excelled on the football field. So you add those 2 pieces, and then the holdovers that were there for the season opening win against Kearney, Emmanuel Henry, Jaleel Jackson, and of course this freshman kid that shoots it really well that shall remain nameless on this podcast.
Hashtag shooter's going to shoot.
The shooter's going to shoot. But I think it's going to be a really close one, but I'll let you guys do the picking.
Okay. Let me be the first one to piss Aaron off this season and go with Lincoln. You mentioned them having Thomas Marcus back in company. He's literally just back. So
fresh out.
Even with his freak athleticism, it can still take a little bit to put all the pieces of the puzzle back together. So I'll go with Lincoln on this one. You know what? This one, though, could be a thing where you look back on it and go, wow, that was a treat to see that kind of a matchup early because both of these teams were making deep runs in the playoffs. Yep. But I'll say Lincoln takes this one.
I'll play devil's advocate. First of all, I want to say congrats to all the kids on San Diego. Great season of football this year. I know it ended a little bit shorter than they wanted it to. Good news is they get to come to the basketball court a little bit early. Thomas Marcus, obviously one of the best players in the county. Got to watch. Here's what I'm going to be a little bit contrarian to you.
Please.
I highly doubt he didn't pick up a basketball through that whole stint. I know he wasn't practicing or whatever, but I mean, this is a kid who did the AAU circuit. He took basketball really seriously. I find it really hard to believe that he really took the full time off. He's still in shape. He was playing football. It's not like he was just kind of sitting around. So I'm going to take San Diego on this one.
Fair enough. Our final game this week, Claremont, the Chieftains, who apparently all 3 of us are already massively sleeping on and disrespecting and just, shout out to the Claremont supporters.
Nick Adams in the building.
They are going to take on one of the only other orange-themed teams they could find in San Diego, Valhalla. Valhalla is at Valhalla. Valhalla is a team that plays very well at home, regardless of whether or not they've got even 5 kids on the court. They just know how to defend their home court. Aaron, because you abstained last time, you go first this time.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to just clear the record and for the record say that Claremont is probably one of the favorites in Division 5 this year for basketball. Obviously, that's not saying a lot in San Diego given, the competitive balance, but I would say Claremont and San Pasqual, the road through D5 probably runs through those 2 teams. With that said, this is a tough early season matchup for a team that hasn't had a ton of success, even though they do have some intriguing personnel. My favorite of that group is Nick Davidson. Really fun athlete to watch, 6'4" kid, volleyball player as well, 35-inch vertical leap. Throws down some impressive dunks during warm-ups. Get there early.
If a football/basketball player is a great hooper, what's a volleyball/basketball player? What would we call him?
Volley hooper.
Volley hooper.
So he's a really good volley hooper. But I like Ramsey Sultan, senior for Valhalla. Been through the wars last year. They got off to that hot start. He was a big part of it. And Keith Jackson just knows how to coach his team. And like you said, they're a team that really thrives in their home gym. So I'm going to go Valhalla. And I think it's going to be Valhalla pretty big.
I'm going to agree Valhalla. I haven't got to see them play this year. Got to see them play last year against Helix with Norris on the team. They did not shy away. Tough team. They're tough at home, like you said.
For most of that game.
I'm going to take Valhalla.
And I will not allow us to make any clean sweeps yet on this podcast. So I will take Claremont.
So you're going to win.
I will just say that for if no other reason than I just don't want to be sleeping on a team that ends up winning a championship.
And you have to hear about it.
Yeah, exactly. So
week in, week out.
I'll take the fiery. I'll be denied entrance at the gates of Valhalla from that afterlife. But as always, this is just our speculation and our pontification. If you want to hear us talking about any specific games, tweet us, Instagram us, Facebook us.
Go down in the DMs. That's what the kids say these days.
Yeah, come find us at a game and just, yell at us about it. Anything you want to do. We got players kind of milling around. We're going to grab some of them and talk to them, and I always forget that it'll just be instantaneous right after the wipe, so I don't even really need to toss it. We'll see you in a second.
Peace.
We're back, sports fans, and we have some members of the Hilltop basketball team, the Lancers. Yeah, they love us. They hate us. We force them to be on camera. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, I'm Keontae Kane.
Ryan Major.
So, guys, hosting the Hilltop tournament, you guys have gotten a look at Coach, you're welcome to come in here, too.
Come on.
Just come on, get on here in the back. So, Coach, you want to introduce yourself for everyone?
Yeah, my name is Luke Kelly. I'm head varsity coach of Hilltop Boys Basketball.
Very nice. So, guys, you've gotten a look at Canyon Crest, at La Jolla, at Helix, at Eastlake, some of the best in the county, and we were talking about wins and losses are hard to really measure up early on in the season. Just kind of give us a feeling, though, how things are starting to come together right out the gate.
Right now, I just think the Hilltop tournament gives us good experience and gives us the time to gain chemistry early in the season so that we can bring it on to other teams later on in the season. So I think that's our focus right now is to get chemistry. And since we're playing good with D1 teams, play up to their level and see if we can get a surprise win, upset and beat them.
Aaron, I'll pass the mic over to you for a question.
You guys are in D3 this year, correct? You guys moved up. Now, last year, a couple of us, decided that the 14 seed was, insurmountable, challenge, and you guys, you're gonna an early exit. And not only did you not have an early exit, you made it all the way to the semifinals. How much did that experience going deep into the playoffs help you prepare for this year with the jump to Division III? I'll let Coach answer that one.
I think it's great, the extra practices, and we had some young guys. Keontae's a junior this year, for example, but he was up practicing with the varsity during playoffs. So we have a number of players returning from last year's team who made that deep run, and some new juniors who practiced with us, a couple who also got in some of those games. So I think it's huge having that. We have a good building block from last year. And even though we went up a division, we still have that big game experience. So when we get into those big games next year, we're not going to be worried about it. We have that experience, and it's going to be really important for our leaders to really lead the whole team in those situations. So.
Although at the same time, I'm not opposed to another 14 seed making a deep run like that, because it gives some of us a chance to look like we actually know what we're talking about and not just be blindly picking teams.
I think you picked us the first 2 rounds.
That's what I'm saying. You know what? Whatever. I'll admit it. I'm related to Andrew Westling. He and I are brothers. Let's just kind of take us into about the last month getting ready for the season. You guys you were with the football team and whatnot. So just for the basketball centric guys, has there been a motto? Has there been a moment where you kind of really felt like, okay, this is what we're coming around this year. This is going to be the identity of the team.
From the first practice, coach set the tone early that we're gonna work hard, play as a team, and just keep fighting. And our main goal, to win league and to make a deep run to the playoffs, go for the CIF.
Speaking of which, you guys, league, obviously there's changes this year, minor fluctuations. Sweetwater's down in the league now. They've been one of the longtime standard bearers in South Bay. What have you guys been doing to prepare for those league opponents? Adrian Lee at Castle Park. Southwest is always really well coached. What have you guys been doing to prepare for those guys?
So our own tournament and all of our tournaments before our league, that's our best practice. That's where we want to load our schedule up with difficult opponents. Since we're D3, a lot of our opponents in league are D4, D5. So this is really the best time we can get good experience against good teams. So even if we start off 0-9 like we did last season, once it comes to league, we kind of learned on the way, and then we're ready to go. So that's going to be the most important thing for us again this year. Hopefully it's not an 0-9 start again, but as long as when January comes around, we're ready to play. We know we compete, and we know we can make a run in playoffs just like last year.
All right, I probably got the most important question by far. I would say, Ryan, you probably have the coolest hair in the gym. Key, you probably have the coolest shoes in the gym.
Yeah.
What's more important, the hair or the shoes?
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with the hair. The ladies like the hair. So.
Give us a nice profile here. Look close up.
In the side.
That's kind of fresh.
Yeah.
How often does the haircut change?
Once the hair starts growing back, I try to change it up a little bit. Maybe a new look every other game, maybe, see how it goes. Maybe comb my hair over one game. If that doesn't work, then might do let it just flow out the rest of the game.
If
So
you're playing well, if you're not playing well, you got to change the hair.
exactly.
All right, what about the shoes? Shoes or the hair?
The shoes are more important because when you're playing, what do they look at? Your shoes or your hair? Shoes stand out more in the games.
He's got those nice 11s, man. Those are tough to beat. Those are pretty fresh.
Yeah.
Hold those up,
Put
Keith.
it over right here. There we go. Look at, hey.
I mean, we could have also just taken a second shot and not risk hurting everyone.
A little bit of the hood coming out there.
And I now feel very self-conscious because I got long, floppy, generic hair, and I got boots on.
Nothing wrong with that, though.
And my shoes are going on 3 years of age, so we're just gonna avoid those.
Don't worry, I'm in the same boat, gentlemen.
Well, you know what?
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Who's the best player in y'all league? I want to from your team or any team. Who's who do you?
player?
Yeah.
I got you.
I think if we're being really honest here, I know there's some tough opponents. Castle, like you said, Adrian Lee, and Sweetwater's always been a good contender in the South Bay. I don't want to sound too biased, but I'm going to have to say Justin Wilson from our team. He's been probably the hardest worker and one of the best talented players.
Agreed.
Agree 100%.
Coach?
Of course, going with my own guy.
And by the way, this guy has a future in broadcast journalism. He's man, you're poised. You guys both. Man, we were at a school not to be named, and we were getting a lot of one-word answers. I like how you guys came out, and that was really. I'm very impressed.
We're student athletes here at Hilltop High School.
Hey.
Always.
Well, also, he's been on TV before.
Yeah.
Go watch The Grind. It was pretty fun. That'll do it for us. For this, we got RBV just walked in. Eastlake's been waiting. We got like 4 other teams. Guys, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Pleasure.
And go follow them on Twitter at
Hilltop Hoops. Hilltop_hoops.
Hilltop_hoops, guys.
All right.
You can follow all the tournament action on their handle. So we got 3 more days of the tournament left. Give us a
It's gonna
follow.
be a lot of fun, guys.
There you go. Go Lancers. Okay, we've found another team to bug for a few minutes. This is the Rancho Buena Vista Longhorns. You guys want to go ahead introduce yourselves?
Yes, I'm Aaron Abrams, boys varsity coach.
Patrick McLaughlin.
Jamal Bell.
All right, so guys, we're kind of just going through the early season routine of questions. You know, the off season, talking about the first games, couple out the gate. Just kind of for people that haven't seen an RBV game yet this year, give us kind of a rundown how things are going for you, how things are feeling.
We're excited about where the season is headed. Right now we're 1-1. Played 2 very competitive games. We have a very solid young group of players, that are on the up and up, and we're ready to make some noise throughout the county this season.
I can't wait to play. My team's doing good, and yeah.
It's all you need sometimes.
Yeah, they basically said it. So yeah.
All right, guys. You guys obviously play in one of the toughest leagues in the county, the Avocado East, but you also play in the Division 3. How much does taking your lumps in the Avocado East prepare you for, playoff action in February?
Oh, well, I mean, it's definitely big picture for us. We realize that it's a marathon and not a sprint. So this is one of the reasons why we're down here at this tournament. Obviously there's a lot of good, exceptional competitive teams down here, which is, what we want to get early on. We want to compete, be competitive, and hopefully that, makes us better throughout the course of the season.
So take us out there on the court. What are we going to see this year? Threes, defense, steals, full court. Like, just give us kind of the rundown for what we can expect out of you guys.
A lot of defense. Man.
So speak with the actions and not the words. We're going to see a lot of defense.
Now this is an interesting story. Patrick McLaughlin, obviously you just moved here from Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, and you got to sit out a few days, and when you come back in January, you're going to be ready to go. What are we going to expect from you coming out the gate?
Just to help the team win, more energy, and just,
Heard you're a pretty good shooter.
yeah, you'll see.
Okay. All right. We got guys that are a few words. See your teammates behind you. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of skill, young guys like Jack Bailey, Noah over there, Noah Fields. If you guys want to jump in here, you can. I see my man Aiden Ross in the building. I see these guys.
This guy is camera shy right here.
All right, so Noah, this year you had an opportunity, obviously, to play in one of the showcase, the Cream of the County. How much did that, having that experience to play against some of those high-level guys in your class help you to prepare for what you're doing this season so far?
It actually helped me a lot. Playing with that high competition and the high caliber defense helps transferring over to varsity games.
We brought him in, and he came in and started giving us more than one-word answers.
That smile the smile that lit up when he walked through the door and he saw a camera. Tommy?
All right, most important question. You guys, you're all very nicely dressed, but since you're a new guy, I'm gonna need your help real quick. So just come over here with me. I need you to rank your teammates right now, best to worst dressed, right now. From what we see, give us a breakdown.
As everybody quickly
leaves. And everyone leaves.
Bowtie, get over here. Bowtie, get over here.
Right here.
Jack's like, nah.
Come on, Jack.
I think Noah's the best. Then Leo with the vest, and then him. It's not tucked in. It's not tucked in yet.
So, hey, is the man purse back then?
I don't know.
It's a trap. Wow.
What do you call him out on that?
I like it. He's a good look.
So apparently on this podcast, not only do we hate on teams by picking against them, but now we're just going after fashion.
We cap on their clothes. I love it.
All I'm gonna. Okay.
He's got the wave.
That's what's up. Hey, all I have to say is that I want an RBV bow tie that I can be rocking for the playoffs when you guys go on your run. So yeah, just give me one of those nice red ones, that color, and I'll definitely rock that on the podcast. Right. Best of luck to you guys. You guys got another day here, and then it is back up north where teams can catch you all season long. Thank you very much for being on with us, and we will go grab someone else and force them on camera. Hey, sports fans, we're back, and with even taller players, and I swear they're not standing on boxes or anything. This is Eastlake's. This is the heart and soul. Oh, you want to?
This is not a baseball podcast. They just happen to be really good basketball players too.
Oh no, trust me. If this was a baseball podcast, we wouldn't let these guys on because we'd be hating on them arbitrarily or something, picking against them. Because who knows what good baseball looks like when you could, pick a D5 team instead of an open division team.
Yeah.
I digress. I have videos to prove that I'm on their side for baseball season. You want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Grant Holman.
I'm Brian Leanhart.
Okay, so guys, right out the gate, you play Helix real tight. You have a couple other huge games here in this tournament. Just kind of give us, we don't need to talk about X's and O's, wins and losses, but just kind of give us a rundown of what the vibe is like for the team this year.
It's a good vibe. I wasn't on the team last year, so I can't really compare it to what last year was, but I know it didn't go as they planned it to go. So we're off to a good start. We just need to keep finishing games and execute down the stretch. That's going to be the most important thing for us.
We have a much different team last year. I think we have more guys that are committed to basketball and really want to do something big for Eastlake again and bring it back that culture in basketball. I think we're going to be a fast, energetic, good defensive team this year that's going to win a lot of ball games because of it.
There's so much parity in the Mesa League this year. I mean, I was looking at some of the teams. Obviously, Modern Day has been the standard bearer, but between you guys, Otay, Bonita Vista, Olympian, there's teams that can beat each other on any given night. What do you think is going to be the deciding factor in that league this year?
I think defense is going to be huge for us in particular. And then, again, I think all the games are going to be close. It's just going to come down to who executes down near the end of games.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's more about stopping the best players on each team. I think that certain teams in our league can't function the same unless their best player is going. I think, for example, Trey Anderson from Modern Day, that man, he's really, really, really good. And when he's not on, Modern Day seems to play a different way, but it's hard to get him not on.
I like that analysis.
All right, I'm going to ask, since you guys are both, we'll call them Diamond Hoopers, great Hoopers with Diamond Hoopers. 1-on-1 to 11, who wins? And facing each other on the mound at the plate, 4 at-bats. What's the result?
All right, I take him in basketball easy, no problem, but Grant throws some cheese on the mound, so I think he might get me there.
What if you're pitching?
I think I can get him out 3 out of the 4 times.
3 out of 4?
3 out of 4 times.
I smell a few hung curveballs in there, so I'm going 2 for 4.
Okay.
And I think maybe he could sneak a blooper out on me. Maybe he goes 1 for 4. But basketball, he's got a little bit of the edge, unless it goes to the post.
Yeah. Just if you get a rebound, that's it, right? Just back him down in the paint. There you go. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to help you out here, man.
Just let the size go to work.
Right?
Count me out. I'm good 6'2", 6'3". He doesn't got that much on me.
Yeah, and I'm listed at 6'5" on our roster also. So guys, just kind of going.
Lions say 17 tall, so that we look like 6'6".
Oh,
He's 6 feet tall.
Check the program.
Yeah, check the program. All of us are listed at 240 and ripped, and but I digress. So going forward, guys, you mentioned finishing games. You've mentioned defense, playing athleticism. What's going to be, in your opinion, what gets you guys over that hump? Are you looking forward to one game? Hey, we're going to come out against that opponent. Are you just looking forward to just get us to league? What's the mindset for over the next couple months?
I think our mindset for the whole season is just get better after every game. You don't want to be going backwards, so as long as we're constantly improving and getting better game to game, I think that this should be a pretty successful season for us.
Hit perfectly game by game, work every day in practice. I think we'll be fine.
Are there any surprises? Like, I mean, you guys know I've seen you guys a few times during the off season, but you didn't play a lot during the preseason. What's one guy in East Lake that will just come out and just surprise all of us?
I'd say Kevin Bateman and Grant Holman. Those are some. Kevin's not back because of football, but when he gets back, having Kevin and Grant down low, it's going to make it hard to beat us.
Yeah, I feel like having Kevin help on the boards and he's just going to be a flat-out scorer this year. I think that he's going to come out and be more aggressive than he was last year, being a junior, and then next year he's going to be really fun to watch.
Well, there you go. A lot of fun to watch all season long. East Lake, go check the Titans out. Do not pick against them in any sport ever, no matter what, because they will just take that as chalkboard material and prove you very, very wrong. Guys, thank you very much for being on with us, and go get it done today. Okay, so there's games being played, so now we have moved outside to the foyer, as we'll call it, because we fancy here. We are now joined by the Helix Highlanders. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name is Jalen Henson.
Maurice Holmes.
Amari Green.
So I should have given you a better. This is the CIF champion Helix Highlanders we were talking to, because yes, they win it in football, but the basketball team did it first. So guys, we're a week or so now into the season. Kind of just give us the, I know that you're not at full strength yet, but just kind of give us how the feel for how things have been going.
Well, we got a bunch of little sophomores coming on our team, so we're just kind of teaching them the ways of the varsity level, and we're just like a rebuilding process. So we're just trying to group everyone together so we can play as a team.
Right now, we're just thinking about getting better each game because we have a really young squad right now. So we're just trying to get better each game.
So we got a lot of new people, freshmen and sophomore on the team, try to help them improve. So when we leave, they'll be good to be able to team. But we're basically just learning how we're smaller than everybody, so we can get up the court and down the court faster than everybody else. So
nice. All right, guys. We talked about last year's success, Division II champions, Division IV state runners-up. You lose a big piece in Miles Norris, but another underrated piece losing in Jalen Arnold, with graduation. How do you guys rebound from that, and what are the goals this year?
Well, Miles and Jalen were a big factor of our team last year. We're just kind of a small team this year, so we're going to try to have a faster pace and blow by teams this year. Mm-hmm. So with those factors gone, we just have to box out more and be stronger against other teams.
What's the goal?
Helix is just a winning culture, so everyone expects us to win. So we just got to rebound back. We just got to find our strengths because we got a lot of more strengths this year, especially with us three. We know how to win, so we're going to win this CIF championship this year.
Obviously the ultimate goal is to hopefully go to state and win CIF, but right now we're kind of focused on winning league and then taking it one step at a game for playoffs.
Yeah, let's talk more.
So you guys mentioned the winning culture Helix. Obviously, the football team going to state playoffs. It's something you guys have to deal with pretty much every year because the football team's always going deep in the postseason. So what's it like not having those guys for the beginning of the year, then they come back? What's that adjustment process like?
At the beginning, it's all right because we're kind of used to it as it happens every year. So, we're Dang, how much I to say?
I think it's a great thing. A lot of people on the bench get time to play, and we get a lot more, especially with the younger guys, get a lot more playing time. And then Carson, Isaiah, and maybe a couple others will come back and make our team a lot stronger.
Definitely make them better at dunking.
Well, as Marie said, it's kind of great to show one of the younger people to show out, to see what they can do. And then when we come back to our other tournaments and league, then we just can punch teams in the face with our football team.
So a couple of you guys have now said league, and early season is always interesting. You play such a wide variety of D4 to D1 type teams, but focusing down on the back stretch of this season, what's going to be the key that sets you guys up for a league win or league championship?
Playing together, obviously. We kind of, right now, we're kind of one-on-one kind of stuff where we need to get together as a team and then play as a team and work off of each other.
Yeah, I think, it's working as a team. We don't have one guy in the middle that could just, dominate. So we have to work as a team and just everything from boxing out to scoring to everything.
Yeah, like they said, work as a team. Team ball, it starts on defense. So team defense translates to team offense. Once we get good defense, we're able to get good buckets on offense. So.
All right.
You good?
I think so. We never do this, but anybody you guys want to shout out?
Now you can ask them best player in the league.
Shout out my boy Jalen Arnold. He coming back December 16th. We gonna have fun, and he'll come watch us play. And Miles too.
Do you guys have an alumni game? Is he going to be?
I don't think so.
Square up? That we need to make that happen.
I just want to shout out my TGO brothers, Miles, Tayshawn, Ray, and Trey. Just shout out my brothers.
Yeah, shout out my boy Dylan Lee, my boy Jalen Arnold, my boy Miles Norris. Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, these guys will all be getting shouted out next year, and hopefully it's because you were back-to-back CIF champions, and we'll be following you all. Helix. They got 2 games left in the Hilltop tournament, and then it is off on the standard war path of, everyone's going to hate on them for a little bit, and then they charge through. And, it's this repeating cycle. Guys, thank you very much for being on with us, and best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Okay, our last, or maybe not, I don't know. There seems to be 400 teams in this gym. The interview today, these are the Canyon Crest Ravens. This is the senior squad of them. You guys will go down the line. You want to introduce yourselves?
Oh, yeah, MJ Metz. Aaron Acosta.
Sam Crespi.
I'm Tyler Elson.
Kind of sad that you two didn't get the memo about standing in descending height order for the entirety of this podcast. So, guys, we're just kind of asking everybody the same question. The first couple weeks of the season, just kind of take us on court. What's the vibe this year? How's the team feeling and looking?
We got a pretty old team right now. I mean, right now 4 seniors, but we have 2 others on the team. But we got some new guys. We have some transfers right now. We got Brennan. He's going to be a good addition to our team. He's out for the first period since moving stuff. But I mean, we're looking pretty good. We got some size.
Yeah, it's a surprise because last year we were all a pretty close group of friends, and we didn't think this year it was going to be like that. We thought there's kind of going to be a separation between the older kids and the newer kids, but we're actually coming together pretty well as a team. We work pretty hard in practice, and it's a lot like last year, which is good.
Yeah, to build on that, like Tyler said, we do have a bunch of new guys, and so the first part of fall and summer was really bringing that chemistry together, and now we're starting to come together as a team, pushing each other every day at practice, and so I think we're really coming together now.
Yeah, we got a great team vibe so far, and all that matters is going out at practice and games, and we've been able to do that so far, so we'll look to continue that.
All right, guys. How much was the first game of the season a wake-up call for you guys?
I mean, it was very much so. I mean, anyone that saw it knew that we have a lot more potential than we showed in that game. And it's early in the season, mistakes happen, but we're trying our hardest not to make it happen again. And we're just going to keep continuing, like I said, working hard, and that's what we're all about, is working hard.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. It was definitely a huge wake-up call for all of us. It showed how we definitely need to work hard, come in every day, give 100% of the time, and not take teams for granted.
For us, I think it's just important kind of to remember it, but to also forget about it, because we know we're much better than we played that night.
Mm-hmm. And they kind of hit all of it, but props to Otay Ranch. They just outworked us that game.
got one more question. You guys have had, obviously you're kind of known as the academic school within the district. This is one of the first years where there's a lot of early season expectations for Canyon Crest. Whereas, in years past, you guys have snuck up on teams. How does it feel to transition from being the hunter to the hunted?
It's very different for sure. I mean, all 4 years we've been here, Sam for only 2, but all 4 years it's been Canyon Crest the underdog. Everyone overlooks us and kind of coming up, like you said, as the underdog. And this year, kind of being on the radar, it's definitely different. But I mean, it's just business as usual. We try not to pay too much attention to anything. Just go about our business the same way and get things done.
Oh yeah, so you kind of hit on it. It's an academic school. It's not a football school. One of the few schools in the county that doesn't have football. So do you guys feel like almost an added sense of pressure to bring the school together for school spirit, to have people show up to your guys' games and to play well for school camaraderie?
I mean, yeah, basketball is definitely like the one, like I guess, football sport at our school. It draws the crowd, but I feel like we're doing a pretty good job right now.
Yeah, it's not, we don't really see it as that. It's kind of just, we go to a lot of our friends' games, they come to ours, and everyone just enjoys our basketball games, so it just draws a lot of people.
And I would say it doesn't really put on pressure. I'd say it makes it a lot more fun. We have a lot more people coming to our games, supporting us, and it just makes the season and it makes our team a lot stronger, and it honestly brings our school together, in my opinion.
I think that pretty much summarizes it. When you're talking to the kids that help bring the entire school together, who else do you need to talk to at that school? Sure. Guys, thank you very much for being on with us. You got a couple more games here. Then they'll be going back up to the North County to go do battle all season long. Definitely check out Canyon Crest. Like I said,
Both the Raven.
Exactly. And on that note, we out.